Hello, fellow YouTubers. I'm Jevin D&D, the Disabled DM, and welcome back to Power Up Gamers. This will be episode 8 in our Disabilities and RPGS series. And today's video is going to be about awareness and issues it can cause. As I recently watched a video interview in which Elsa as Henry, A, and some others were discussing various things such as this at conventions, and it kind of inspired me to do a video on it myself. Oh, so there is going to be basically 3 categories under awareness I wish to discuss. The first is going to be players who have special needs or disabilities and how awareness affects them. The second is a category based for players who don't have special needs, aids, or disabilities. And then the third category is going to be a GM or DM based, whether they have special needs or not. So let's begin with players who do have special needs. There's some things with awareness that need to be addressed here for these players. First off, the awareness that they need to communicate with the other people involved, so they have a special need. Whether it's they need a special type of dice, special type of character sheet, a certain type of location, all of which we'll be discussing. But a lot of times those with special needs don't ask for these things. And there's a couple reasons for that. First, they don't know that it's okay to ask and let people know what they need. The second is a lot of people with special needs and disabilities are used to snide comment and or being poked fun at if they do say something, which should never be the case in a gaming setting. But this leads a lot. Sometimes it's people without special needs being jealous or thinking they're being treated special, or such as not having to stand in line at a convention, or having special locations where the games take place. And this is kind of where it's a clash, because in a way it is special treatment in that you're accommodating those needs. But it's much the same if a regular player wanted some quiet to play and not a bunch of background noise, or they have the right to request those things too. So it's not so much special treatment, it's more of making it an environment that's suitable for everyone to play in and comfortably. Now, there are issues that come up, such as in the case of a working in companion animal or service animal, if someone's versus someone who might be allergic to a dog or a cat. And really, what this boils down to is the people with the service animals pretty much need to have them versus those who are allergic to animals can take medicine and to help prevent outbreaks. They can not come close to the animal. Oh, so there's stuff of some people can do that they should be doing versus the ones who have to have the service animals. Now, given that said, those who do need service animals, it's their responsibility to make sure the animals are well trained, don't jump up on people, or don't bark or make noise for no reason. And most of the time, this is provided for pretty good. Usually, service animals do their job and they're not a distraction. They may sleep on the floor or during a session, but there's some things those who have service animals can do also, such as stating this is a need of this and finding out if other players have and the DM have allergies, etc. And if that's the case for someone who's, in the case of someone who's blind, they might have someone with them who can take the service animal elsewhere and bring it back when they need it in order to leave. It's it's mainly a matter of cooperation and awareness. So simply communicating those needs is a big step. And not being afraid to do so, not being afraid that you'll be made fun of or belittled because you have these needs. It's perfectly okay to say, I have this need and we need to try to accommodate it. And sometimes it may not be possible. But given and people who are trying to meet these needs, it should be able to be rectified pretty easily with open communication. The second group is players who don't have special needs and how awareness affects them. Again, this varies in different situations. A lot of it just being aware of who's around you, where they're at. For example, in a cosplay, or a typical gaming event convention, you might have costumes, and there might be people in wheelchairs who sit lower than you. So be aware of the space you're taking up. And it's not an issue of rights to take up that space. It becomes an issue when your space invades on that of someone else, whether it's someone with a special need or maybe just a regular person who's sitting on the floor or in a line, or someone in a wheelchair who can't navigate easily. But if you pay attention to what's going on around you, usually these issues can be avoided. And the biggest thing with this is definitely people of all kinds need to pay attention. It's common in a gaming session to be sitting around a table or sitting at a desk using a computer, etc. But be aware of what people all need. Perhaps the person in line that you said something to isn't being rude or ignoring you like they thought. Perhaps they can't hear. Perhaps they're deaf. Uh, so it's just a matter of simply paying attention and knowing what's needed, open communication, and between people involved. Much goes the same with the GMs. If you do have someone who has special needs, ask them, is there an accommodation you need in order to have a good experience? And try to meet those. With open communication, a lot of things can be worked through pretty easily. So that's kind of my awareness bit for the 3 different groups. One thing I do want to mention, and it doesn't fall into any one of these, and it may apply to all of them, is not all disabilities or special needs have some kind of visual aspect, such as in the case of someone who's autistic, such as myself, until someone hears me talk. If you see me on the street, you would never know I have an issue until recently when I had to start using a cane because of the arthritis. But growing up, you wouldn't have known. I would have just looked like your normal guy. Until I started talking, and then people would start noticing things. So be attentive, pay attention to what's going on around you. Open communication's very important. And don't assume anything. Just ask and talk about what's needed. And some things will make it a better experience for everyone, such as a certain location that's easy to get to by all sorts of different people, whether they are using a cane, whether they have to use a wheelchair. If it's a quiet location, it's going to provide a better environment for everyone. So I encourage my viewers to pay attention to these things. Don't be scared to talk about them. It's not offensive to go up to someone and ask if they need help, if they have a certain need that either accommodation that has to be made. As long as you're doing it out of genuine concern for the person and their experience, and not in such a way as making snide or rude comments. So with that said, I hope this short video has helped a couple people think on these issues. And until next time, may the dice always roll in your favor.